Hey guys, Jinx here with a gym rerun guide. I just want to start by thanking Petrowski for making his video guide using this team. However, I've found several ways to make it more efficient by skipping some PC resets. Since this is a team that many people already have, I thought it would be useful for sharing my method and route on this gym rerun. The only addition you'll need to make yourself is developing a team that can beat Morimoto. You can copy mine if you want, but I'd recommend you build your own. Any well-rounded team of level 100 should do the trick. Just make sure you take your time during the fight, don't rush, swap into your typing when appropriate, especially like ground against lightning, that kind of thing. If you don't have a team to beat him, and you really struggle to take him down, you could probably add in Nimbasa or the Drift Veil gyms, because we're going to be skipping those ones, but it'll probably net you about 10,000 less. For this run, you will need a teleport and fly ocarina. These are about 500k each on the GTL, or 200 RP in the cash shop. They have a ton of utility even outside of this run, so I highly recommend having them anyways. I also wanted to quickly explain 4 things before going over the teams. Tailwind is a move that speeds up your whole team, even when the one that used it is swapped out. Prankster is an ability that Cottony has that allows a utility move like Tailwind to go off before any other moves, ensuring it happens before Cottony gets KO'd. Sun and Rain increase the damage of their respective types, fire and water, by 50%, and they decrease the damage of the opposing type by the same amount. And lastly is the moves Eruption and Water Spout. These are massively high-powered attacks that attack both opponents on the field. The damage scales off of your current HP though, which is why outspeeding is so important, because if you get hit, your damage will decrease significantly. So let's get started by going over the team. If you haven't seen the original video from Petrowski, I'll go over it quickly here for you. We're setting up with the pretty standard Typhlosion run with the Blastoise edition. Your Cottonies here can be as cheap as possible. Usually once they hit right around level 30 on my Cottony and Torkoal, which sometimes they survive and level up, I usually breed them back down. The nature doesn't matter. Your EVs definitely don't matter. I've kind of made it my own goal to make it 6 times 0 eventually, just because it really does not matter. The only thing that matters on these two is that you have Tailwind on your Cottony with the Prankster ability. Prankster makes sure that Tailwind goes off before anything else. On Torkoal, you need Drought as your ability. That'll set up the Sunlight for the Typhlosions, and you'll probably want Explosion because that'll ensure that he goes down if the gym mons don't hurt him. Your Typhlosions, your nature, you'll need, well, Modest will be ideal, but Mild or Rash will work. I wouldn't recommend Quiet, even though you get the plus special attack, the minus speed will cause some problems. As for EVs, you're just going to max your special attack and speed. And for IVs, I recommend 31 special attack, 31 speed, but I've never had any problems with mine. A little bit more budget, 27 special attack, 31 speed. The only issue I have run into once or twice is Misty's Kingdra. If I low roll maybe both eruptions, it will sometimes survive, but it's a quick reset and you can run right back into it. After recording the intro, I was curious about the impact of 31 IV on the Typhlosions against Misty's Kingdra. So I ran some damage calculations, and with a budget setup of 25 special attack IV, it's a 52% chance that the 2 eruptions will knock out her Kingdra. This seems pretty low, but it actually sets the overall win percent against her gym to 90% when you consider it's only a 20% chance or a 1 in 5 that she'll run her Kingdra team. With 231 IV Typhlosions, it's actually a nice 69% chance of KOing the Kingdras. So when you factor in the 1 in 5 chance at her running this team for her gym, it sets your overall success rate to 92%. I actually decided to switch to the 31 IV ones based on this, but you can see the overall win rate is only actually 2% difference by going for 25 special attack IV budget Typhlosion versus a 31 IV more expensive Typhlosion. The price difference is usually about 100 to 150k, So make that decision how you will. But if you run into the Kingdras, keep in mind it is 52% chance versus 69% chance, or a 90% chance overall versus 92% chance. The only attack you're going to be using on these two is Eruption. You'll need to PP max it for this route because we're going to be skipping a bunch of the PC resets, so you won't have enough PP to make it through. Other than that, they need choice specs just to max their attack, and that's pretty much it. For the Blastoise, same thing. Special attack, nature, 252, speed and special attack on both. However, you might need to make an adjustment on that depending on your IVs. You'll notice one has one less speed IV than the other. And this is really important because if you look at their stats, one has 255 speed, one has 254. That means that your 254 one is a little bit slower and will go second. Your 255 will be your rain setter. Since he's going to go first, he'll set the rain before your choice specs water spout user can do some serious damage. You should be fine just with a PP up. You'll definitely need at least 6 PP on this, but if you PP max it, you could be safe. If you have a 31-31 for both of these, you can fix that pretty easily by just making sure your rain setter has 248 speed EV instead of 252, or sorry, your choice specs user should have 248 speed EV. That'll make sure he's one stat point lower, and he will go second. Alright, now I'm just going to go over my Morimoto team. So first thing, I'm going to show you how to set up your PC so that you can swap quickly, just because we are going to be swapping. So you'll see I get right into my mons, my team is right here. You can multi-select and pull them right over. That'll make your Morimoto swap very fast. So now that we have the team, let's check it out. You do not need to follow this exactly, but I'll go over the 6 that I use and that I have had 100% success rate against Morimoto with. Just these 6, they're just a bunch of random PvP mons that I had ready from just OEU PvP. You don't need them to be as ideal as this, but it will make it a little easier, and it's always fun to have a bunch of green numbers in your stats. Like I said, don't worry about having 5 times 31, but if you do enjoy getting those green numbers as much as I do, then you can use those mons for this. The thing to be mindful of when you are going into this fight is to take your time. You have to think through this fight a little bit, and when like Jolteon swaps in is one of the main issues because he can take out a couple of my guys. Always throwing Garchomp because the ground type will nullify the electric attack, and then he can pretty much just sweep from there. You'll see how I take it on when we get to that. But just don't rush, take your time, think it through. Morimoto is definitely worth it. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's hop right into the actual gym rerun. If this video helps you get more out of your daily gym rerun, drop it a like and feel free to subscribe if you want more videos just like this. Let me know how the route works for you in the comments, but let's get going. We're going to start our gym rerun in Castelia City. We're going to bike over to the gym, and we're not going to pop our coin until we get right in front of the leader. So we're going to pop our coin. We're starting this one with our standard drought setup, so I'll just go over it once and then I'll just refer to it as a standard drought setup. This is just going to be something that most people are familiar with. You're just leading with your Cottony and your Torkoal to set up drought and have your Cottony set up the Tailwind. After that, you're going to swap in your 2 Typhlosions, and they're just going to eruption through with the speed of the Tailwind, allowing them to go first, and the drought causing them to do lots of damage. So now that we got our standard drought set up, we're just going to blast with this gym, and I'll catch you at the next gym. So here's where we're going to leave the Castelia City gym and go straight back to the PC. However, we're not going to heal here, we're going to save some time by swapping right into our Morimoto team. We're going to run right to Morimoto as fast as we can. Now here during the Morimoto fight, you're going to want to take your time. I'd highly recommend starting with one of your leads who has a pretty versatile moveset. I like Chandelure or Starmie as they have a pretty good coverage across different typings. Don't be afraid to swap if you have to, if you're in a bad matchup. You can see we're swapping into Togekiss here. Again, he'll stay, even though he's not very effective. He'll do some damage, but I should be able to just one-hit him here with Togekiss. The Morimoto fight, I don't find it too difficult. I know some people seem to struggle with it, but overall, as long as you just play it slow, play it smart, and choose your right typings, it's not too bad. We're going to leave here. We're going to do that same trick where we're going to go back to the PC, but instead of healing, especially in Unova, the healing takes way too long here. We're going to just grab our fully healed team and head right to Nasarine City. This gym is pretty easy, doesn't have any hiccups along with it. It's just a standard drought setup. So we're going to go right into that, and I'll see you guys after this gym. And with that gym down, we are just going to go. We're going to have to reset for this next one, as we're going into Striation City, in which we will be taking on all 3 gym leaders back to back. So here you're going to want to start with the water gym leader, the standard drought setup. The water leader going down, you're going to go straight into the grass leader next. You don't need any setup for this one. You're just going to lead with your 2 Typhlosions and Eruption through. There shouldn't be any hiccups with any of these 3 gyms, just using these normal setups. Alright, and with the grass leader down, here you're going to want to try to be as quick as you can. You're going to swap the 2 Blastoises into your starting slots and just lead with them. This is going to be what we're going to call the rain setup with the Blastoises. You're going to use your faster one to set the rain, and the slower one with the choice specs is just going to water spout. After that, both of them are just going to water spout until the gym is finished. With that, we got our 5th gym leader down. We're going to swap our Typhlosions back into leading or the middle slots, just so we don't mess up sending out the wrong things. We're going to reset after those 3 and head over to Opelucid City. That's going to be our last gym in the Unova region. This is just a standard sun or drought setup. There's no problems that arise from this gym, so I'll see you when we're finished it. Right, and with that one down, we're going to actually head straight back to Castelia City. And make sure you don't teleport here. We're going to fly because we don't want to end up in the PC. We're not going to reset on this one. We're going to go straight to Kanto. As you're biking over, swap your Blastoises into the lead of the party, as we're going to be going straight to Blaine's gym in Sinnoh Island. This one is just going to be a standard lead Blastoise rain setup. There is one possible hiccup with this. If Blaine runs the team that leads in Ninetales and Flareon, we might run into a bit of a problem. However, we'll still beat it. It'll just take a little bit longer. Luckily, we didn't get that team this time, so we should have no problems on this setup. If you do run into that, just set up normally, put your rain down, water spout through. Eventually one will go down. You just swap your Typhlosions in and Eruption from there. With this lead, the Charizard hits one of the Blastoises pretty hard. Unfortunately, he chose the Choice Specs one this time. However, it doesn't actually cause any problems. He shouldn't one-hit it. Maybe if you went really budget and had like 0 HP, you might be in trouble. But with this one, as long as we got the one water spouting through, there should be no problems with this gym. If one of your Blastoises ever goes down, just swap in that Typhlosion, Eruption through, and it's no problem. So that was a good example of what can happen sometimes, where you just get really unfortunate RNG with their selection of who they're going to attack, and with a high roll, it might knock you down pretty good, but you'll still be fine as long as you just keep water spouting and eruptioning. From here, we are gonna TP reset, and we're gonna head straight to Pewter. Now before you get to the gym, make sure you swap those Typhlosions back up, otherwise you might, just because of the muscle memory, swap in from the wrong slot. This one is just a regular drought setup, so we're just gonna set our Tailwind, our Sun, put in our Typhlosions. So during this gym, this can happen. Sometimes you'll come across the Ninetales. It's a 1 in 5 chance that he'll have his Ninetales. You're just going to keep eruptioning through it. Eventually, he'll be the last one standing, usually when your Typhlosions are going down, which will allow you to lead into your Blastoises and just water spout them in one hit. So here you can see Ninetales is the last one on his team. From here, we're actually not going to swap. I'm just going to eruption again. So even though he's the last one on the team and we could just swap into our Blastoise, we're going to eruption again. That's going to allow Ninetales to knock out our Typhlosion, then we can swap in our Blastoise without taking the damage. Alright, so that's another gym down. Unfortunate RNG on getting 2 not great gyms in a row. However, we're just going to continue on. It's good for you to see what can happen on these runs, so you know how to adapt if they happen, because they do happen sometimes. For Misty's gym, we're just going to go the regular drought setup, and there should be no problems unless they lead with the King Drought, which luckily we don't see here. If you see that King Drought lead, that's that situation I was talking about near the beginning of the video. You're basically just rolling almost a 50-50 depending on your IVs to see if you will one hit it. But we're lucky here, and we should just fly through this gym with no problems. Alright, and with that one down, we're gonna head straight to Celadon City. We don't want to reset between these. We're just gonna go straight there. You can go there directly after the Pewter City gym also. I usually go Pewter and then Celadon if I had a clean sweep of Pewter and my Typhlosions are still healthy. Otherwise, I go to Cerulean and then come to Celadon. Either way, whenever your 2 Typhlosions are healthy, you want to come here. Often she'll throw out a Drought Ninetales, which makes it a lot easier. So whenever one of your Typhlosions goes down, it's not a problem, don't panic, just keep water spouting. But when you do swap in, make sure you're swapping in the one with choice specs. They are still using a water attack in the sun, so it's not going to be very powerful, but as long as you have the choice specs one, it'll actually still hit pretty hard. With that, Celadon's down, we're going to reset and head to Saffron next. For the puzzle, you're going to want to go up, left, down, down. Now this is going to be a little bit of an alternate compared to our regular drought setup. We're still going to set the sun and the tailwind. However, you're going to want to put in one of the Typhlosions and your choice specs Blastoise. This is because one of her teams, just 1 in 5, can have a Flash Fire Typhlosion. So you're going to want to make sure you set that choice specs Blastoise ready to take him out. The reason we don't set the Typhlosion and Blastoise in other gyms that have Flash Fire is often, I've calced most of them, and it'll usually result in a higher chance of failure by doing that. So this is the only one where when you run the calcs, it'll beat all 5 gyms with a Typhlosion eruptioning and a Water Spout Blastoise, even in the sun. From here, we're not going to reset, we're actually going to fly straight back to Vermilion. You're going to want to lead your your Typhlosions on this one, and we're going to go and where you have to check. There's only one team that won't beat this, and it's the Politoed lead. So if you see a Politoed lead, we're actually going to disconnect immediately. We don't see it, so we're just going to eruption through. So 4 out of 5 times, you'll be totally fine. That 1 in 5 when you see the Politoed lead, because he's going to set rain with drizzle, you're going to just hit your escape key, log out as fast as you can, log back in after canceling your session, and you'll pop back up at the Vermilion City PC with a fully healed Cottony and Torkoal. You'll come back and just do a regular sun setup if that happens. And with that one down, we're going to head back out we're going to reset, and then we're going to head to Fuchsia City. For the Fuchsia City gym, you usually just hug the right wall all the way up until you get to the trainer at the top left. You're going to pop down, go right by him, go right by this one, and then you'll right at Koga. This one is a regular drought setup. However, you're going to run into some weirdness in this one. There's a bunch of red cards, so as you hit them, you're going to keep getting swapped out. Just keep on eruptioning and water spouting, and you'll get through it. And with that one done smoothly, I'm just going to head out. We're going to actually reset in Kanto, as it's the quickest reset location. Then we're going to head over to Hoenn. We're going to start by going down to Dewford Town and just do our regular drought setup. Nothing to watch out for in this gym. It's always a clean run, as long as you just do your normal tailwind drought right into your Typhlosions. So we're going to head out from here, go straight to Mauville Town, the electric gym. You don't actually need to reset, just go straight into your Typhlosions and they can sweep that gym, no problem. And with that one down, we're going to swap our Blastoises into the lead, we're going to skip another reset, and we're going to go straight into Petalburg City Gym. This one's just a regular Blastoise Rain setup. The only team you're going to do something different for here is this one exactly. If you see a Spinda lead, you're going to go double Water Spout right at the beginning. The reason being, Spinda will use Teeter Dance, confuse both of your Blastoises, and that can cause a lot of problems. With this lead, you'll probably have one of your Blastoises go down. It's no problem to swap in whichever Typhlosion's most healthy. Remember, Eruption and Water Spout both go off of how much HP you have left, so make sure you swap in your healthiest for the most damage. With that one down, we're going to reset and we're going to head to Rustboro City next. Before we get there, make sure you swap those Typhlosions back up to their regular spot. Doesn't really matter, but I find if I don't do that, I often send my Blastoises in by accident. This is just going to be a regular drought setup. There shouldn't be any issues with this gym. With that, we kind of hit a big milestone here for myself. I've been saving for the Psychic Bird Mask, which I saw earlier today. One went up for 13.5 mil. I finally just hit that 13.5 mil mark. So I'll be looking forward to buying that after this gym rerun. Right, and with that one done, we're going to head out. We're going straight into Lava Ridge Town for this one. Make sure you swap your Blastoises into the lead, as they'll be doing this gym for you. Top left, top left, top left, up and to the left, then it's to the middle, bottom right, and bottom right. Pretty straightforward puzzle. This is just going to be a standard Blastoise Rain setup, and there shouldn't be any issues in this gym. Sometimes a Charizard will get a Solar Beam off in the start. It'll be just like Blaine's gym. Just keep on going through, set your rain, water spout, and there's no problems. And with that, we have one last gym in Hoenn, and that's going to be Fortree City. For this one, you're just going to do your regular drought setup. So just be mindful, I just noticed I left my Blastoises in that middle slot, so I gotta be careful when I swap in that I don't swap in the wrong ones. Right, with that one down, we're gonna just reset. Make sure you reset in Hoenn. It's a little quicker than Johto. And then we can head over to Johto. We're actually gonna start in Olivine. So we're just gonna go straight to this gym and take it out with a regular drought setup. Put that one down, we're gonna teleport, reset, and we're gonna head over to Cyan Wood next. This is just a regular drought setup for this gym. Right, and with that one down, we're gonna head out to Azalea Gym We don't need any setup for this one. We're just going to send out our Typhlosions and they can take out all the teams here. For the puzzle, you're going to go to left bug, then you're going to skip the switch and just jump right on the next bug, then flip the switch, hop back on, flip the next switch, hop back on, you'll be at the leader. When you're leaving, make sure you hit the switch before you jump on the bug, and that'll take you right back out. We're going to reset here. We're going to head over to Ukritique City. I don't think I've ever said that one out loud. This one, just be a little careful while you're walking. It's pretty straightforward, but you don't want to fall. This is just going to be another regular drought setup into our Typhlosions. The Gengar's Cursed Body can cause a little bit of an annoyance, because since you're choice locked, you're going to have to just struggle, but that's okay. Just keep sticking with it. Right, when you're leaving this gym, just jump off the edge and it'll take you right back to the start. We're going to go straight into Goldenrod City Gym with no reset. For this one, you're going to go Rain Blastoise lead. Right, with that one down. Again, make sure to swap your Typhlosions in. Running a little low on time. We should be fine to make it to these next ones. We're gonna reset and then head to Violet City next, and just hit it with a regular drought setup. Right, with that gym down, we're gonna head, with really tight on time, we're gonna head to our last gym. Luckily this one does not require any setup. We're gonna be taking the boat to Sinnoh. We're gonna head to Eterno City, and there's a grass gym here, which the Typhlosions can beat almost every time. The only hiccup you might run into in this gym is if you get hit with a sleep powder or spore, but when it's your last gym, we got 1 minute, we'll see if we can blast through it and get it through on our coin. Either way, it'll be a good payday. 20 seconds left as we go into the last two. We'll see how fast we can take them down. And hopefully we get it just in time. See if we get it. And 2 seconds left on the coin. And we got it. That puts us at 27 gyms plus Morimoto in 1 out on 1 coin. So let's calculate how much we actually made from that. So it looks like we started with 13,253,411 PokeYen. We finished off with 13,641,687, leaving us with a grand total of 388,276 PokeYen earned. I hope this video helped you with your run, and if you find any other ways to increase the efficiency of it, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for taking your time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.